Rhode Island's Joe Trainer now with us. And Coach, before we look ahead to next year, let's take a look quickly back at last year and the things that you learned from the experience of last year and how you'll carry that into this new season.
Well, the one thing you learn, certainly in this conference, probably more than any other, or as much as any other, is the fine line between winning and losing. You know, we were in an awful lot of close games, unlike the year before where, you know, we were able to win some of those games late in the fourth quarter. For whatever reason, we fell short in a lot of those games. And, you know, learning how to finish games, learning how to execute when the game is on the line is something that we focused on an awful lot this offseason, Kurt.
Well, last year, quarterback Bob Benson, he provided a spark to your offense, of course, in 2011. What expectations do you have of him this year, and that he figures to be the starter coming out of the gate?
Yeah, I mean, we thought Bob did a great job when he came in. Obviously, there's a little more pressure on you, you know, when you're the incumbent and the expectation is high. I think when you come in relief of the starting quarterback, you know, you don't really feel the pressure and you're kind of just flying by the seat of your pants. But Bob did a great job, and now he's got to learn to handle expectation, and we feel good about him, you know, leading our offense, you know, and I think he's going to be a great player for us.
Two names that were blurted out by the public address announcers many times last year as your top two tacklers and linebackers, Doug Johnson and Dave Zacco. Who else can we look for this season from the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I think we have some really good players up front. I think our front six, so to speak, our front four and our two inside linebackers are going to be the strength of our defense. We got Josh Moody. He's a 285-pound, going to be a redshirt junior. Did a good job last year, 15 to 25 plays a game. We got James Timmons, who's a defensive end. Manny Williams, another defensive end. Damon Vargas is a 300-pound space heater that's pretty athletic inside. So I think the front six. I mean, I'll be disappointed if we're not stopping the run with those guys in there and wreaking havoc versus the pass.
Talk about the strength of this league and how quickly a team can go from being pretty darn good to really struggling. And how does that happen?
Well, there's just so much parity, you know, and it's one of those leagues. When do you play the team? Where do you play them? You know, there's some teams that are a much different team at home than they are on the road. You know, we're one of those teams. We've had a pretty good record at home and haven't had a ton of success on the road. So that's been a point of emphasis. But so many great players, you know, in this conference. So many great coaches, and you know, the key for all of us, obviously, especially this time of year, staying healthy, getting out of camp healthy, so that you know you hope to be playing in the end of October with your top 30 players. You know, like you were hopefully at the beginning of the season, and usually the team that stays the healthiest. You know, is a team that's going to be a factor down the stretch.
Joe Trainer, the head coach of the Rams of Rhode Island. Thank you.
Kurt, always a pleasure.